Time for Law and Disorder.
I demand a lawyer.
With attorney Jeff Kaufman on 101.1 WJRR.
We are Orlando's rock station. Jeff Kaufman has arrived, partner at Kaufman Lynd, fine personal injury law firm here in Central Florida. If you or someone you know has been injured, you think you might need legal representation, or you just don't know, pick up the phone. Call Jeff or email him. Either way, he's going to tell you straight up, yeah, it sounds like you might want to, someone to represent you to get involved, or no, perhaps not.
And remember, he practices law in several states. So if you're listening on the free iHeartRadio app, he might be doing your state. How did the Tennessee trial wrap up last week?
It was solid. I mean, it was a good trial, took care of our people, did what we need to do. What's amazing is, I forgot, all this stand-up is... normally it takes you about a minute or two to get into a trial, then you're talking to jury. It takes like a couple seconds. Man, boom, right in.
What, because of stand-up?
Oh, yeah. For the stand-up for the last year or two. Now when
Jeff is also a stand-up comedian.
Mm-hmm. I do some stand-up. I'm not as professional as the other guys.
Don't you have an event coming up?
Yeah, I'm actually headlining about 50 minutes Friday night at a place called The Corner, which is in downtown Orlando. It's one of the Bonkers clubs. So just go to www.bonkers, BONKERZ.com.
Bonkers
with a Z.
And if you want to get in touch with Jeff directly, by the way, Pat, his contacts are jeff@whenyouneedus.com, #546 on your cell, or just call the number 407-500-JEFF.
Jeff, a couple things that are in the news here I wanted to throw your way to see how you, as a personal injury litigator, might handle this. This story went national last week involving Disney being sued over a food allergy death. Did you hear this story?
The one that was in the old downtown Disney, which is now called...
it was related from a dinner at a Raglan Road Irish pub.
Yeah,
Disney
rent.
Springs.
They rent. Disney Springs, all these different places are rentals, so Disney's getting sued, but it's actually a private company.
Okay. Well, anyway, what the story says is Disney goes, you can't sue us because one of the bringers of the lawsuit subscribed to the Disney Plus streaming app and agreed in the terms of service that any kind of legal situations must be decided via arbitration.
Yeah.
How would you're the lawyer, you have this client who has had the food allergy die, their family wants to sue who they believe is responsible for this, and they're met with this argument.
Just because I have Disney Plus, the question is, did I get the tickets through Disney Plus? It's a lot of... I don't think they're associated with each other. I mean, for example, like, you don't know, but using Google, for example, if you use Google AdWords, you say you're never going to sue Google. But if you get hurt on Google property, they can't keep you from suing because of a secondary issue.
That's what we thought.
Yeah, I don't know if that argument's going to work. I mean,
that's what they're arguing now. It's interesting.
Well, anybody can argue anything.
Yeah. But they also say that if you buy I think it said if you buy tickets through the website, same terms of service.
No.
If you have an issue with...
No.
Okay.
No, that's not going to fly. It's a nice argument, and yes, it'll tie you up a little bit, but I can't imagine that holds, because that's clearly not the intention of the clause itself. That what does me being able to watch the Avengers on TV have to do with me dying on property?
We're agreeing with you.
From a nut allergy,
But here's, a lot of people don't know, it's kind of a little issue here. Disney's not really responsible for this restaurant, even though it's a secondary issue. People don't get, I can rent to somebody and they could try to hold me responsible if I know they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or I could have reasonably stopped them. But in this scenario, you have a completely separate tenant renting from Disney. Disney doesn't own this restaurant. They just rent to a bunch of different people. That's like, how can I say, AMC, something happened at the AMC down there and them trying to sue Disney. It's going to be really difficult to show that Disney was responsible for, this issue.
How about,
you might want to represent them.
Real quick, this one, Jeff. Atlanta's Emory Hospital is the location where this happened. A guy named Fernando Cluster was taken to the hospital there back in 2022 with brain bleed. A portion of his skull about the size of a saucer was removed to relieve pressure. And when the time came to replace the bone, the client says the hospital couldn't find it. He and his wife are now suing Emory, alleging that in addition to the emotional pain and suffering caused by the incident, he was charged nearly $150,000 for medical expenses directly related to the hospital's error, including $19,000 for the synthetic skull implant that they had to come up with and use to replace the bone that they lost.
Yeah, it's I can't even. What normally happens in situations like this? Okay, I'm going to tell you what normally happens in situations like this. When
Has anybody seen his skull cap?
Yeah, it's a bad one.
Wow.
What normally happens in situations like this is the doctors normally don't charge him because they know it's going to come back to bite them. Because this is part of the lawsuit. Going, not only that, you charged me this, and this, and that just only upsets jurors. You know, that's a bad way to do something like that.
Oh, yeah, like Big Brother, like the big company,
Now,
taking advantage of a normal person.
What they're going to argue is this. They're going to say, no, we couldn't put this one back in. That's what the argument's going to be. They're not going to say, yeah, we lost it and double down on them. They're going to say, no, this was damaged. We couldn't put this back in. It wasn't good. There was a problem here. We had to use a synthetic because it was better. But they're never going to say, oh, yeah, we lost it, then we doubled up on them.
Yeah.
How the hell would that even happen?
Yeah. Misplaced it, so Yeah. All right. Somebody said, I'm dealing with a workman's comp case right now and had to ask a lot of weird questions from the workman's comp insurance company lawyer. Like, what truck do I drive and what color is it? Why would that be important in a deposition meeting?
Well, what happens at depositions, they can basically ask whatever they want in a deposition as long as it might lead to something. They might say, oh, we just wanted a description of the truck you would, and we wanted to... Depositions are just nonsense. You go in there, and the guy on the other side asks like 500 questions. Only maybe, it's like 10% of them you could be used in a courtroom. But they can't ask most questions. So, yes, they are silly. Just sit there, answer honestly. Hopefully, if you're an attorney that prepped you and is sitting with you, I wouldn't go to one of these things alone. But everyone makes their choices.
Remember that deposition I had to sit through a couple of years ago?
Oh, yeah.
With the lady?
I can't go into any detail here. I'll just tell you this. What you just described is what happened to me. I sat there and they asked me the same question about 35 different ways. And I each time said, I don't know how much clearer I could be. No, is the answer. No.
The fact is this, you got to be prepped. Don't allow yourself to get mad. That's what these depositions are. The other attorney just wants to see what you're going to look like in trial and beat you up till you change your answer. They'll ask you questions that there's no way you can answer, hoping that you make something up.
And I'm convinced that's why they did not interview me in this thing. I think that without saying too much, I think that our company lawyers, when I talked to them on the phone, I said, well, technically, and I said something, I think they were like, oh, no, this guy's we do not want him in there. So they only did Pat and like somebody else with the station.
Well, it might not. It was the other side that deposed you, not your own company.
Yeah.
So your company doesn't get to decide. Step up.
I can confirm, though, what he's basically saying is they put me on the front line and said, Taco, you weren't even here that day, right? Wait.
Well, that's what I mean. They go, the company rep who was there, who's best to know the information, and they gave you.
Well, they talked to him, they talked to me, they talked to somebody else who I won't name,
but not in the deposition.
I guarantee they said, this guy, we do not want them cross-examining this guy.
Bob,
he's going to sink our ship.
I love you, but you would not be sitting next to me in the chair if I had a choice.
No, I tell. Wait, you mean right here?
But then again, I gotta be. I don't. Pat could lose his mind though. He could get a little ornery, and I might not want that either. So I'm not quite sure how I'm doing this.
That's why the show balances itself out.
Yeah, that's
yin and yang.
I've been working on the length of my fuse.
Yeah,
I have.
Yes.
I have.
You don't think you're getting more crotchety? You think you're getting less crotchety?
I know I'm getting less.
Okay.
He made it a New Year's resolution. I'm damn happy for it.
You know something? I gave up drinking.
Well, he didn't really make a New Year's resolution because he doesn't believe in those, but it's just something that he says he's going to do. You gave up drinking in January?
I don't really drink, but I gave it up.
Yeah, I remember you just come out with us when we were out for Thursday Night Football and have a couple beers.
Yeah, no, I never take anything serious, but then I realized, I really don't need it, and I don't like the idea of being scammed. Because you get scammed. You know what tastes good with this one? I was in Vegas, and for a shot and a drink, they hit you up for $22.
Oh, of course.
And then they go, you want a double? That's $44. I'm going, 2 shots for $44? And we're all dumb because we go, oh, well, you got to get it. And I went to a show in Vegas the other day, and they were like, I said, I'm just going to have a Coke. I said, nobody. Like they were trying to shame me because I wasn't drinking. Yeah. And I'm laughing. I'm going, God, you just made probably 3 times the concert sales in your alcohol department.
Could you imagine how much money we would have if we could get back all the money we spent on booze over the years?
I don't really want to think about that.
Hey, have you gone to a restaurant lately?
Luckily,
and you go, suddenly you go, wait, why is this bill so cheap? Because I didn't spend $15 on a drink.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
They jack you at every restaurant. Now they go, oh, we have this cute drink menu where $18 drinks on, and you go for a shot.
Fortunately, I drink just beer, so
they'll still get you for those.
I know.
$8. Come on.
For Jeff, I've been on a workman's comp case for 6 years. Is there any way?
The same guy from the last question?
No.
Okay, all right.
No, for Jeff, I've been on a workers' comp case for 6 years. Is there any way I can force a settlement?
No, you can't force anything. What's happening here is you have your lawyer and their lawyer. Sometimes things just drag out. 6 years seems a little bit, but I've seen cases like the case I just tried was 4.5 years old. Oof. So sometimes it drags out because of evidence, because the court's delayed, because they can't get certain witnesses. That happens. 6 years seems like a little bit. It seems a little long for the typical case, but I would ask the attorney, I said, listen, hey, what are my fair expectations for about how much till we can get this done with? And if he can't, well, we don't know, I'm going, stop it. After 6 years, somebody should know something.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Okay, now, if we did not get to your question, don't worry. I'm printing them up and putting them in a stack for next week. I promise.
You can reach out to Jeff today if you want directly.
Yeah, Jeff at whenyouneedus.com, pound 546 on your cell, or 407-500-JEFF.
Wow, I love that number. That's so much fun.
I know, it is good.
53333. That's what Jeff is. 533. I can't even say it. 5333.
Friday night, real quick again.
Yeah, Friday night at Bonkers at the corner, downtown Orlando. I believe the show starts at around 7:30. Be there. Tickets online, Bonkers. It's actually professional, but I'll tell you what, I've been enjoying the hell out of it.
Jeff, have a tremendous day.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Lynch and Taco. On demand, download the iHeartRadio app.
This track